we can just have pale. Yeah, so this is lavender citrus. Hello, mamas. Hello. So we're just getting set up. We're having if you can hear me, leave it heart. Yes. Hey, tribe. Hey, my loves. Yes. Leave me a heart. Okay, perfect. Yes. And also, we have a small little goal for the video. So if you do want to leave a donation for EmpowerHer Transformation Inc. I'm so excited about this conversation because, last week, Zadi and I talked about generational traumas, how to overcome them. But I have a special guest today, Deborah Nazaire, and she is a certified
life coach and hypnotherapist.
Life coach and hypnotherapist. So I'm so excited about the conversation that we're about to get into. And I excited about helping whomever is logging on to this live to overcome any generational cycles and actually the tools or techniques that you can do or the resources you can have in order to help you overcome generational cycles as well. So Deborah, it's like, who are you? Like, why?
I'm just me. Coach and hypnotherapist. I help people overcome their limited beliefs, bad habits, any type of negative thinking, negative patterns of behavior, so on and so forth. If you have something that you feel like in your life is not contributing or benefiting you in a certain way, and you're like, you know what, I really want to do this consciously, but for some reason I keep going back to my same old patterns, I can help with that. That's what hypnotherapy and the life coaching piece along with it will help you do.
What was your experience? Because I know you went to California and trained.
I did train.
So what is your experience, and tell us what it actually did to help you improve your life and why people need this.
Yeah, so I did go to the Hypnotherapy and Training Institute to train as a hypnotherapist. It was a very intensive training, like literally all day, either in hypnosis or practicing hypnosis. And so what hypnosis did for me was help change my negative belief around me being good enough and me being a person of just confidence and standing in my own power as far as being in my profession, being in my personal life. I would say I've always been a go-getter. I've always been someone who has been a high achiever, but I've always struggled with feeling good enough and feeling like I'm doing enough. And so I would say hypnotherapy definitely helped me in that aspect.
So if I am a high performing woman or business owner or mom or just simply a sister, how can I overcome generational traumas? And what do you think the main generational trauma is when it comes to women in general?
Yeah, this is gonna go deep.
Yes, let's go deep.
I think that women struggle the most with, and this is a generational thing, 1, getting to know yourself, 2, putting yourself first, and 3, living a life where you don't betray yourself. I think that there are a lot of women who are given an idea of what success looks like or what they should be doing out in society, and they take that on as their own. But if you just sit with yourself and you really listen to what your heart is saying, that's not exactly what you want. That's not exactly what your heart is telling you that you want. But a lot of people are in this go-getter culture where we have to be disciplined and, we're reaching for, either some corporate job or executive position out in the world. And we've completely forgotten about self. We've completely forgotten about our passions and the things we truly love to do because we've taken on that perception of what success looks like that's been given to us, by society.
Society is one of the psychological conditionings or projections that happen to us. But when it comes to our childhood and our parents, how do you think that ties into everything?
Yeah. So, of course, when we're children, people say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you're like, oh, I want to be a dancer. I want to be, a chef, or I want to, play the violin, or anything like that. And then as you grow older, we are given the perception of what is acceptable in society, or what makes money, or what is deemed the most successful or appropriate for your life. It could come from our parents. It could come from, school or anything like that. And not saying that there aren't people who are out there who are dancers or astronaut, whatever it is that you want it to be. But I find that if you take someone today and you look at what profession they're doing, they're in today, it's not what they said they wanted to be when they were 4 or 5 or 6 years old. You can say, well, as a kid, I didn't know any better. Like, yeah, I used to want to be a fireman or whatever. And, as I grew, I've honed in on different skills, and, you have to make a living and things like that. But what really got you away from that dream? What made you have it in the first place? And why are we now in a place where some people are just truly unhappy? I think we're content to an extent. We may make money, we may make enough to uphold a certain standard of living, but truly deep within, I don't think a lot of people are.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people struggle with, that inner peace and inner happiness, and that when we feel like we can't obtain it, we start to wear avatars, or we start to adjust to what we don't like, and we start to manifest more of what we don't like, because we feel like, when I was 20 or 21, I thought I was going to be a Beyonce backup dancer. You could not tell me I was not going to be a backup dancer for Beyonce. And I was just naturally talented at dancing. But what happens? A pregnancy happens. I was a young mother. So the course of my life changed, and I don't know what would have happened if I wasn't a teenage mom. But I feel like at a certain age, when we start to reflect on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or what we could have been, I think a lot of times it's, what? That person told me I couldn't do this, or I stopped. I gave up on myself, or this route was easier for me to obtain. And I think releasing that generational trauma or pattern of just not feeling like we can obtain our goals, or just not simplifying our goals enough where we feel like we're overwhelmed by them.
Right. And one thing I want to add to what you said is, life happens, right? Like you said, pregnancy, marriage, things like that, that kind of give us detours in life. But what we have to come back to is the core belief of no matter what, I can still do X, Y, or Z. And I think that's where hypnotherapy helps people to hone in that core belief, regardless of what is going on in your external environment. That core belief, if you want to be Beyonce backup dancer, if you have the core and subconscious belief that you can do that, and it's true within you, the outside world around you will conform to make sure that you get there.
Yeah, I believe that it's the universal law of belief. Whatever we believe with conviction becomes our reality. So it's about the psyche, the thoughts of what we believe about ourselves, and how we through our beliefs. So that brings me back to like our first belief system. Like, how do we start from the very beginning with getting programmed? And through research, I realized that we really start getting our program through the 3rd trimester of the pregnancy. So at a very, when we're still in the womb, we start to get programmed. So how does that affect us the initial programming, because sometimes we come on this planet, we may not have the safest environment that we're coming into, and that can kind of shape our thoughts about ourselves and our environment.
Yeah.
So how could we reprogram that?
So like you said, the environment in which we grew up in, our parental, the style of parenting that we had, the familial kind of beliefs and culture that we come from, definitely shapes our subconscious beliefs and how our lives play out, unfortunately, or fortunately. And we begin to reprogram that first with becoming aware of what those beliefs are. And so we have to take a step back and look at and question the ways that we were raised, what beliefs were upheld in our household growing up, what kind of things were said or not even said, but kind of upheld without spoken word. We have to look at what kind of values and disciplines were upheld in our household and how they shape us today. So we have to really look at and question, why do we have this tradition in my family? Why does, all of my sisters do X, Y, or Z? Or why do all the men in my family do this, that, and the third? And so we have to begin to look at the behavioral patterns in our families and begin to question why those things are.
Yeah, that why can make you a black sheep of the family too, because I was raised in a toxic environment, and I believed, and my mom hasn't been diagnosed, so we're going to say allegedly that my mom has narcissistic personality traits that I needed to cope through, and it triggered my codependency, where I started at a very young age to have these habits and do these things to kind of navigate my way in the world to get my needs met, because I felt like I was not getting my needs met. And that created habits, patterns that were not easy to break. Low self-worth is not easy to break. So what are different healing practices that I can do besides yoga, meditation to break those patterns? What would you suggest?
Yeah. So, and if you don't mind,
No.
let's do a little exercise.
Okay.
So you said that your mom displayed some narcissistic traits growing up, right? What are some of the ways that you learned to navigate life as a result of her personality trait?
People pleasing. I felt like in order to get a good emotion from her, I needed to be very nice to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think the belief was underneath that? Like, if we could put that into a statement, what do you think that belief would be?
The belief is, if you want people to be nice to you, no matter if they're being mean, you have to still be kind to them.
Okay. So an exercise that I would do in practice with one of my clients we'd say something like, in order for me to get my needs met, I need to be nice or acquiesce or people please in order to get my needs met. And so that's the belief underneath the behavior. And so we need to uncover that belief and make it into a statement so that it's clear to the conscious mind. And then what I would do is we would induce in hypnosis. And so just for people that don't know, hypnosis is a completely natural state. It's when you are in a very relaxed state, and in that relaxed state, the subconscious mind is very, very receptive to new information. And so, again, like we identified the belief that I need to be nice and acquiesce in order to get my needs met. And it's just a state of hypnosis. I would, get you relaxed, and I would reprogram your mind to believe that you don't need to be nice in order to get your needs met. You don't need to people please or acquiesce, and even in moments where you don't want to in order to get your needs met. There are other ways to get your needs met.
I love that. Is it still like reprogramming the subconscious or introducing the subconscious to something else, maybe another thought process or pattern?
It is introducing the subconscious mind to another thought process or pattern, but what our brain does is you can't have two negating beliefs at once. Contrasting beliefs at once. So if, let's say in this example, you can't believe that in order to get my needs met, I need to be nice. And in order to get my needs met, I won't need to be nice. Mm-hmm. So those two things contradict each other. Mm-hmm. And so once I introduce the new belief, and with repetition and in the relaxed state, and also, give you some guided visualizations and things like that to work with as well. Mm-hmm. We would cancel out that old belief and bring on the new.
It's a lot of fear in the community, especially the Black community, about going under and allowing somebody to have control over your thoughts, your body, your mind. I mean, why is that myth? Like, why do people think like that? Where did that even come from?
So there is a lot of misconception around hypnosis. And what I will say is, number one, in hypnosis, you are fully in control. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to be hypnotized, you will not be hypnotized. If you want to wake up out of hypnosis, you will wake up out of hypnosis. Let's say, for example, I were to put you into a trance right now, mm-hmm. A fire alarm would go off. You would wake up out of hypnosis. Mm-hmm. So it's not something that I am in doing to you. Mm-hmm. I am facilitating you through the process, and you're taking yourself through that process.
Oh, is it almost like the vessel of healing? You're like moving the life force, or you're guiding your patients, your clients, and then they're kind of releasing on their own?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely similar to that, where you're doing the work. I'm just guiding you through it.
Mm-hmm. If you ladies have not, please make sure you follow Deborah. What is your Instagram handle?
Yeah, it's at Deborah_Nazaire. Give me a like and a follow.
Yes, I feel like in our community, especially the spiritual community and really the religious community too, we look for different ways to help us heal. And healing is not a one size fit all. So Reiki may work well for someone, meditation may work well for another person, but hypnotherapy can also work well for you. And if you don't have any information about it, I suggest that you research it and see if it's something, that will really, really help you heal and navigate your life. Because a lot of times what we're actually doing is reprogramming the subconscious mind to put us in vibrational alignment with a healthy, loving relationship with ourselves and others, our financial prosperity, just living life on our own terms.
Yeah, right? Intentional living.
Yeah. So what is intentional living? What is intentional living?
Intentional living is living from your heart space, mm-hmm. doing exactly what it is that you want to do when you want to do it. And that might sound cliche, that might sound impossible to some people, mm-hmm. but I say it's possible. Mm-hmm. I say that it is achievable and it's very realistic. I think that we've gotten to a place in the world where we have accepted dysfunction as the norm. Mm-hmm. We've accepted living a life of struggle and strife and, doing things that we really don't want to as a means to get by. And mm-hmm. to me, that is not normal at all. Mm-hmm. While it is very common, it's not normal. And, I am a testimony. I am a real life testimony of, what it looks like to break that cycle. I think we have a subconscious belief that, we have to, adhere to what other people say we should do and what our lives should look like. Mm-hmm. And I disagree. I think, you should follow your heart. And I think we're put on earth to, live our life in the most authentic way possible. And that means tapping into who you are, authentically and at your core. And even if it's different from what other people, think or say or feel it should look like, so be it.
Yeah, and we have been friends for a few years now, and I have watched your transformation and your story. You left your corporate job. She left a well-paid corporate job, went to California, got certified, and started her business. And that was not easy for you. How did you overcome your, any psychological conditioning, generational traumas that tell us we need to be in a 9 to 5? What made you do that? What gave you the strength?
Honestly, complete transparency. I have what I'd like to call negative motivation. I was tired. I was burnt out. I was sick, literally sick. That had me kind of just take a step back and say, I can't keep living life in this way. Mm-hmm. The money and things were great. I will never knock, that journey. Mm-hmm. But I had to make a change for myself where, I was truly happy and I was living a life that I wanted. Mm-hmm. I couldn't see myself waking up in the morning and being unhappy every day. Mm-hmm. I like to say that I have this little fire in my heart, that just makes me go for whatever it is that I feel like is right for me, regardless of what the consequences may be. I am a firm believer, in the saying, leap and the net will appear. And I did just that.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're also feeling stuck, feeling like, you're at your whip end, they say, what is that phrase? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Yeah.
right? And there's some form of transformation that you want to make in your life. Analyze all the signs. If you are feeling sad, feeling drained, feeling like there's no way out of this, like you're in a cycle, please have the courage and the strength to break it. And you really break generational cycles by healing. Yeah. Taking the time to heal. And for the last, I think, over 2 years, women really have been leaving the workforce and becoming entrepreneurs. So please, women, don't be afraid. Ladies, don't be afraid to put yourself out there and grow and expand your gift, your purpose, because this is Deborah's purpose. And I'm sure that she is making a difference and an impact in the community. And if you feel like, you resonate with her and there's certain things that you tried in the past, like meditation, and it's not working for you, please contact Deborah, because she is definitely wonderful and an expert of it. And she's been through it. How was your first experience, I guess, going under? I think I just like saying that.
So yeah, actually it was a really good experience. So, in hypnotherapy, there are different levels of trance. Mm-hmm. And I find that I am one of those people that goes really deep. So, we did a whole hypnosis session. Literally, it was just like I was asleep. Uh-huh. I didn't remember anything. I had no clue what happened. Literally, it was just like I took a 45-minute nap. Uh-huh. And I previously told the hypnotherapist, what topic I wanted to work on. And again, it was, feeling good enough and being enough in, my daily life and the things that I do. And we talked about some key phrases that she would kind of throw in there. But basically what she did was have me lay down. Mm-hmm. I kind of went through like a progressive body relaxation. And then she walked me through an image of a scene that I found really relaxing. just to get you really relaxed and out of my head and really into my body. And as I got relaxed, she spoke different things that would help reprogram my mind to make me feel like I'm good enough and to reprogram those negative beliefs that were kind of hindering me and feeling like I was my full self. So it's a very simple process. There's no watch being waved in front of your eyes or anything like that. It's a very relaxing and simple process. I like to say that it's the sleep of your nervous system. So literally you're just laying down with your eyes closed and you're listening. Some people continue to hear everything that's being said while they're being induced into trance. Some people completely knock out, and that's fine. When you are asleep, your conscious mind is asleep, but your subconscious mind is fully aware and awake and recording and listening to everything that's going on. So literally it's just like taking a nap. And your mind, your subconscious mind is just recording everything that's being said and taking in that new, good, juicy information that's going to help you, be where you want to be in your daily life.
I love that. And if you are someone like me who experienced like deep, dark traumas, sexual abuse, being molested, whatever the case may be, being abused, emotional abuse, sometimes traditional things don't really help us get deep down into the subconscious about what's really bothering us and how we can liberate ourselves. So I'm excited. I can't wait to be your client.
Of course.
I haven't done it only because y'all know, sometimes we're like, what's going to happen? What's going to come up to the surface? What is deep down in my subconscious? So if you're like me and you have those fears, jump out on Pave, and I'm going to update y'all to let y'all know how my experience was. But I know
there's literally nothing to be afraid of. Literally, at times you may recall something from your past. But if there is something traumatic that we are working with, I will literally, ask you if you are okay with recalling images from that scene or that situation, or if it's okay just to get in touch with the emotion and not recall any of the actual happenings of that event. And so there's ways to work around things that are deemed severe traumas, and we don't have to relive those situations. We literally hypnosis is literally results oriented, where we go in and we target the belief itself. We don't have to tap into the emotion or the memories of any type of severe event. We're specifically targeting the belief that was left behind, and that's continuing to contribute to your life today.
So on that note, I hope everyone follow Deborah. Please make sure you follow Deborah, become a part of her community, because she is definitely growing and making an impact. And stay tuned if you guys haven't seen the whole live video. Don't worry, we're going to upload it on YouTube, and we're going to air it then. So this was a great conversation. I don't know why there's people that I meet and I'm just like, chill, chill, chill. But your essence, it just makes me a little like giddy and nervous. What is that? It's because her aura, it just comes off her body. So thank you for being a guest. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for expanding this conversation of overcoming generational trauma. And, people are going to look forward to us collaborating in the future. So is there any last words you want to say?
I just want to thank you for having me. If you guys are interested in any hypnotherapy or life coaching services, my Instagram is Deborah Nazaire, Nazaire.
Say it again, just in case we disconnect, because y'all know how Instagram Live is. So
my Instagram is at Deborah_Nazaire, and that is DNAZAIRE.
Okay, perfect. I love you guys. Have a great afternoon. All right, bye.